Think of how much you know at your current age. Just think about how much you know. You're all in the 20s. So. Then think about what you know if you live 127 years. Just think for a moment.
Oh, it all rain when you dead.
Maybe not. So let's see what our next speaker has to offer. So here to bestow the wisdom of his many years is Chris with his speech title, Get Off My Lawn.
Thank you, young lady. And your hair. 127 years. This is the oldest I've been in a very long time. I get a lot of questions being this old. The most common one is, of course, how do you live to be so old? I tell people it's because of a strict vegetarian diet of oatmeal, chocolate, and Jack Daniels. Or if they don't have a sense of humor, I tell them the secret to a long life is to have lots and lots of birthdays. I wish I could say that the next most common question I get is, would you like another drink? But regrettably, the next most common question I get is, where are your pants? Oh good, I did remember. It's not fun getting old. They say memory is the second thing to go. I don't remember what the first one is. How many of you think getting old is easy? Bah, getting old is not for sissies. Right. My cataracts are so bad, I can't tell how many people are in this room. My hands hurt so bad, I can barely hold on to my cane. My blood pressure medication makes me dizzy. And I forget my lines. Stop. I couldn't walk 5 feet in a straight line to save my life. But at least, I can still drive. But I'm sure you're not here to hear that. You didn't come to hear me rant about being old. You want a great kernel of truth. You want something that only my staggering number of years has revealed to me. Maybe even the meaning of life. Well, I can't go that far, but I can tell you how to find happiness in your own lives. When I was a little boy, happiness to me was toys. Toys were great. Oh, how I looked forward to Christmas all year, and how I relished the baubles that I would find under the tree. I was shocked to discover that I would eventually outgrow my baubles, even as they became more expensive things like nice clothes and trendy cars. Next, I thought a little older, and I thought happiness was girls. Girls were baubles with boobs. They were boobles. I'm so clever, I've still got it. One day I was biking across the Golden Gate Bridge, and I saw this gorgeous figure with flowing blonde hair standing on the rail. That's not safe. I said, "What are you doing?" She said, "I'm going to jump off this rail. I'm going to kill myself." I had to stall her, so I said, "Well, why don't you give me a kiss first?" To my surprise, she agreed. She crawled down off the rail and walked over to me and gave me the wettest, most passionate kiss. I said, "That was great, so why do you want to kill yourself?" She said, "My parents hate it that I keep dressing up like a girl." Next, I thought happiness was the security of patriotism. The Great War was upon us, World War I. I was ready to fight for my country, to go defend it from the evil Austrians. I was only in the war for a month, but that was enough to be completely disillusioned of the rhetoric that whips young men into a killing frenzy. I will never forget the words. Oh, I will forget my lines, and then I'll remember them eventually. Yes. They say true patriots only bemoan their own side's losses. I don't believe that. We are all people trying to find our way in this world. I will never forget the words of the British Prime Minister David Lloyd George after the armistice. No, wait, I did forget the words of the British Prime Minister David Lloyd George after the armistice. On November 11th, he addressed the House of Commons.
At 11 o'clock this morning came to an end the cruelest and most terrible war that has ever scourged mankind. I hope we may say that thus, this fateful morning came to an end all wars.
I wish it were so. We were the generation that saw the first use of barbed wire, machine guns, and mustard gas on our own neighbors. We were the generation that realized that war does not determine who is right, only who is left. We were the generation that swore there would be no more war. But despite the atrocious inhumanity of war, it has remained staggeringly popular throughout the years. There is no happiness in blind patriotism. But there is still happiness to be found. Not something fleeting, not a phase that people go through and discard when the next trendy thing comes along. In the midst of the materialism of baubles and the vicissitudes of human relationships and the evils of war and a host of other critical problems facing humanity such as starvation and disease and Charlie Sheen, there is still a real universal source of happiness that applies to everybody. Real happiness is a perfect lawn. We cannot control the world or the weather. We can barely control other people. But we have total control over one precious piece of land, which we can cultivate into a flourishing carpet of greenery. Because unlike the world, or the weather, or people, lawn matters. I would appreciate you staying off of mine. Madam Toastmaster, sir.